I hope everybody's ready to make an advanced sound wave spectrum, whatever. First thing you're going to want to do is open up your After Effects. And you're going to want to create a new composition. And comp 1 is just fine. 1080p works good. Notice I have it at quarter resolution and quarter view because this does take a lot of power. I have a 4770K overclocked, 16 gigs of RAM, and this does take a lot to render. So you just want to keep the settings low while you start out. First thing you're going to want to do is add a new layer, a solid, and you can just call that BG for background. And once you have that, you're going to want to add an effect. It's going to generate sound wave, audio sound wave. And once you have that on there, type in rad here for radial blur. Look for radial blur. Here we go. There's two different types of radial blur. There's CC radial blur and there's radial blur. Just use the normal radial blur. Put it on top of your solid. And you get over here to this box, turn this all the way up. You want it like a roundish thing. You're going to want to also stick some music in here so that you can see what you're doing. So just grab some music, any type of music will do. See what we got here. No, that's not going to do. Let's see. All right, throw this in there. Just some royalty-free YouTube music, and I'm going to put this into the composition, or sorry, below where we're working. Grabbing the wrong thing. There we go. All right, now I'm going to go back into the effects control for the wave, and I'm going to link Pucker Up, the music. It's called Pucker Up. So just link your music to your sound wave. And you might want to scan these, put this close here, put this close here, and what we're doing is we're making a background that actually moves around and does things. Alright, so once you have that started, I'm going to choose different colors. I'm going to choose a lighter gray and a darker gray, and that makes it really hard to see. I'm going to thicken this up. There you go. You're starting to see what we're doing. Bring these a little bit closer together. All right. All right, next thing you know, what I want to do is I actually want to make this bigger than the comp. So I'm going to scale this whole background area up. Click on the comp. Where we go? There we go. All right, so I've scaled that up. And I think I'm going to make this a little bit more rounder, see if I can add to with the thickness. Just taking the thickness up, make it more round. There we go. All right, I'm going to scrub through this and see we have movement. There we go. That's going to be our background for our advanced spear, sound wave, whatever. All right, so we're going to add another layer, new layer, solid. We're going to call this round sound 1. And we're going to add an effect on here. We're going to go to generate. And instead of a sound wave this time, we're going to do a spectrum. And now we're going to look for something from CC. How about that? CC. Radio blur. Radio blur. Let's see here. Let's try this radio blur. All right. Oh, wait. No, that was not what I wanted to do. That's maybe later. Take that out of there. Let's go to, let's just type in spear. Oops. Here we go, CC sphere. Put that on here. Now we're going to have to obviously thicken this up so that you can see it. All right. And we'll deal with the colors in a minute. Let me go to the rotation, open up these, and I'm going to rotate this. There we go. I'm going to go back up here to the start point and make the start point further and the end point further away so that you have a total circle. I'm going to thicken this up some more. There we go. So now it's a visible sphere. All right, so first thing we're going to do is adjust the maximum height and just pull that sucker way up and come up here to round sound, where it says round sound in the audio layer. You're going to link that with our pucker up sound. And, oh, you get the idea. You've got a circular sound spectrum with a moving background. This was probably the hardest part. All right, so I'm going to change the coloring here. I'm going to go for some red today. I'm in a red mood. Let's see here. Red. And some orange. There we go. Let's scrub through this a little bit. All right, that's starting to look okay. Now, what I'm going to do first thing is change the digital to analog lines. All right. And I'm going to see if I should adjust down the thickness. There we go. And I'm going to put it to just one side. Let's see here. Go to, well, we'll do both B. So this is side options, B. There we go. And scrub through this a bit. All right, so now what we're going to do is duplicate the layer by hitting Control D. Click on the layer, and then you're going to open this, close this up, open this new one up, go to Transform, and you're going to go to Rotation. Rotation, you're just going to rotate it. And then you're going to click on it, and you're going to go Control D, and you're going to close that one up. Open up the new one, go to Transform, and you're going to rotate, and then you get something like this. There you go. You can see what we're starting to do here. Now you're going to take the same one, and you're going to Control D it again for duplicate. And this time you're going to open it up. Let's close these just so that they're out of the way. And go to your scale. Go to your scale, and you're going to make this one smaller. And you're going to change the coloring, or you could. And scrub through it a bit here. All right, not bad. Let's change it. Let's rotate it so it doesn't line up with the others. And I'm going to thicken this one up so it's more visible. Now I'm going to Control D on that. Now I'm going to close up this one, open up this one, go into the transform and rotation. There we go. I'm going to close this up and do the same thing, Control D. Open up the top round sound and go into the rotation again and rotate this baby. And you can see what we get started here. It's looking pretty cool. She's got a look. All right, so now we're going to do the Control D trick again. Control D. Let's change the color again. This time we'll go with a green. And let's see here. Try this on for size, and then I'm going to use some warping on it. There we go, get a nice glow. I'm also going to go into scale. I'm going to make this one smaller yet. Well, rotate it, that's how I'm going to do that. Okay, scale it. There we go. And I'm going to Control D that. Close up the one we were just working on. Open up the new one. Rotate. There we go. All right, so let's scrub through this, see what we got so far. Looking pretty cool. You're getting the idea, I'm sure. Now I'm going to close up this one, and I'm going to Control D it. Now I'm going to scale it up. Scale up. Oh, sorry, that's rotate. Scale up. There we go. Right in between these old ones, I am going to, you know, I kind of like that. I kind of like that color on this. Let me just make it a little icy. There we go. And I'm gonna Control D again. Open this up. I know it's getting confusing, but you're basically doing the same thing over and over again, just switching little things. I'm going to rotate this right now. There you go. We'll close this puppy up. Scrub through it, see how it looks. All right, it's starting to look really, really cool. But we're going to need some changes now. So let's do a Control D on this. And pretty soon we're going to have to pre-compose because we are getting filled up here. So let's go to analog lines and make those dots. I'm going to scale this one up more. Ooh, dots are nice. All right, I'm going to turn the frequency up. And I'm going to turn the maximum height way down. Maximum height. Because we don't need it for the outside here. You know, it's really up there. There we go. What we want is a nice cool band. Alright. Now I'm going to scale that down tighter in there. So let's go to the scale. Tighten that in. Let's change color. There we go. And scrub through this a little bit. All right, so we can add a little bit to the maximum height. But you know what? Let's just add to the thickness of this. There we go. We're going to scale it. Well, let's see what this looks like. Oh no, this is looking pretty cool. I'm gonna leave it right where it is. I'm gonna actually pre-compose all of this so that I have this to work with and we can work forward from here. So what you want to do when you pre-compose is you're just gonna select, let's see, you're just gonna select, let's not move this. Why does it never work when I want to do it? Let me open up my window a bit. There we go. Select all this, right click on it and pre-compose. And I'll call it pre-comp 1. Yeah, sounds good. There we go. Now we've just made ourselves some room to work with. And we can go into pre-comp 1. Or sorry, comp 1. We'll click on comp 1 and we only have one solid in our way now. But we have all this work done right here already. And doesn't it look cool? It's only at quarter resolution, so it's going to look amazing at full resolution. It is going to take forever to render out, but it's going to be cool. All right, so we're going to add a couple more effects real quick, but basically you've already got the premise. I'm going to put one in here in the center, so let me make a new layer, solid, and I'm going to call it ground sound 2. I'm going to add an effect, which is obviously going to be in the generate, it's going to be the audio spectrum again. We're going to go and grab CC Spear, put it on here, and we're going to take the thickness up. Oh wait, you know what? I gotta link it to music. Link it to, oh, let me put in music back in here. Fuck her up. There we go. Go back to my effects. There we go. Effects. And let's take a look-see at what we, oh, that's why we have to change the radius. Or sorry, the rotation, not the radius. Just by going like this, there. Do the thickness up so you can see it. Alright, now we're going to bring the scale up so that you can see where it actually is. I'm going to rotate it a little bit and bring the scale up. There we go. Alright, we got to make these meet. So we're going to go back to the start and the end point and just make them come together. There we go. So we've got our new ring to work with. Now I'm going to scale that down. Right there. And I'm going to put on new maximum height. That maximum height up there. And the frequency, I'm going to add some frequency, and I'm going to put this frequency down to 1. All right, so let's scrub through this. Oh yeah, that's looking great. All right, so let's do something else. Let's put some sound on the sides or what have you. Let me see what else we have in. Okay, what we're going to have to do first is add another layer, new layer. Oh, no, let's not even do that. Get rid of this layer and just duplicate the old layer. Control D. All right, now we're going to scale this differently. Get here. Close this one up. Open this one up. Put a transform and scale it much bigger. Like so. And there's a lens, something up. Oh, I could do that. All right. Let's remove the sphere. Okay, and let's make this really see-through. So let's go and opacity, there we go. There we go. Let's scrub through this. Okay, let's make these skinnier. There we go. All right, and that's about it for our advanced sound editing how-to. So now let's render this. Add to render queue. Sorry, I almost forgot to do that for you guys. And remember to switch from AVI to H264. You're going to want the audio output. And change the name to whatever you want. How about Crazy Advanced Sound Wave? Sounds good to me. Save it and then render it. That's about all there is to it. This is pretty advanced sound wave. Hopefully you like it.